All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott, formerly of Rankin Technical College. And as part of my YouTube channel, JPS-Jeff Teaches Programming, and the YouTube playlist, Jeff Teaches Programming-Python, I've created 50 or so videos so far on learning Python. We started with basically no knowledge, went over keywords, went over procedural programming, went over the main Python data structures, got into object orientation and file handling, and now we're into databases. And what I've been doing is writing this very, very simplistic little database app with 3 fields in a table, 1 table in a database. And I wrote it the first time and I threw everything into main. All right, got it to work. Then and it was non-object oriented. Then I took it, still non-object oriented, grabbed every one of the CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete, and put them in their own routines, but still was non-object oriented. Now I'm doing the last one, which is object oriented. So this is the one I've been working on. I've got it, I'd say probably about half done. So I'm going to finish it right now, right in front of your very eyes. So we go through around 10 steps, and out of those 10 steps, it looks like we've gone through the first 5. The last thing was to display the records. This was display all records of the employee table. So I'm going to grab this. In fact, I'm going to grab the whole flaming thing here, copy it to the clipboard, and paste it in. Now I'm going to make changes, of course. This is step 6. And I'm going to change it to the Gmails. So rather than display employee records, I'm going to display Gmail records. Okay, so that'll be the change. All right, so what I want to do here is I still want to select star, like we're doing, but I want to change this. Okay, and let's make this a doc query. I know it's going to be a little funky until I fix it. Just to give me a second here. All right. All right, we don't need that paren anymore. Rather, what we're going to say here is, I don't know, we'll call it Gmail query. Okay, so Gmail query equals, get rid of these. There we go. Select star from employees where email like $gmail.com. Now, in English, what this says is give me everything from the employees table, but the email has to begin with anything, but end with gmail.com. All right. And then we do our execute. Let's change this to Gmail records. All right, I'm not going to change anything else. I think that's correct, but let's see. Well, we got to call it. So that displayed multiple employees. What did we do previously here? Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to come in here and we want to call a method to display employees with Gmail addresses. Okay, so this is db.display Gmail records. And I don't think we need to pass anything in. In here, we should have made sure that we were putting it with self And we did. So now let's play computer before we do this. Let's save this. And let's come in here and take a look at what we've got. First of all, yeah, I got rid of the database. Whoops. Let's just jump up here. If we did this right, and I'm going to look at it again, but if we did it right, let's go down to the bottom, sorry. We will want to have me, Will Frank, and Tony Boy. We will not have Mary Green. We will not have KDB. Okay? Display Gmail records. Now up here, again, this is step 6. It's got Gmail query. We didn't execute the query. That would probably help, wouldn't it? C.execute Gmail query. There we go. Looks a lot better. Then we fetch all the rows. Say here are the current Gmail records. We print those out. And if there's any error, we're going to print this. So let's do a file save all. And let's run this. So here are the current Gmail records. And again, we've got me, Will Frank, and Tony White. We do not have Mary Green. We do not have Kate Black. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to do an update. And when we do this update, let's clear this. Just exit out of here for now. All right. We want to do this twice. We're going to do it the quote good way and the quote bad way. All right. So first, this will be step 7. And we will update Tony Boy the bad way. And then when we get done, I'm going to put it right underneath here. All right, it'll be step 8. And we're going to comment all this out for now. We're going to update Tony Boy the good way. But for now, I'm going to comment this out. That's the next one that we're going to do. All right, so first we're going to update it the bad way. All right. Now, to say update the bad way is kind of bad. So we're going to update, update by employee name. All right. We will get our cursor. Now we'll run an update query. Before we do that, let's just grab the accept we've been using here. Throw it in there. There we go. So error trying to update employee. And as long as we're doing this, let's grab it here too. Put it in there. And again, we will just comment that out for right now. Now we've got part of step 8 done already. So we create the cursor. Now we have to write the query. Okay. Update by name query equals, let's do a doc string. And we'll say update employees set email equal to question mark where first name equals question mark and last name equals question mark. Now I think you already know this, but just in case you do not, when we break this up like this, we can break it up basically any way we want, just about. If we've got something in quotes, like if we're a string that we're checking against, you don't want to break that up, but we can do this. Also, I have been capitalizing keywords and not capitalizing non-keywords. By no means is that mandatory. All right, I'm just doing it because it makes it easier for me when I'm going through this. All right, so let's run the query. So c.execute. We want to execute the update query by name query. All right, and we're going to put in here in parens the email. That's what we want to change it to, the first name and the last name. Okay, now when you look at that, all right, one thing that should come out to you is those are erroneous. All right, so what does that mean? It means we better pass those in along with this stuff, along with self. No, they've gone away. All right, so we're going to execute, and then let's commit. All right, and then we will come in and say a print. Updated email address for, we're going to use Tony Boy here, but we'll do that based on first name and last name. All right. And if we're going to do that, well, we've got that. So we've got the accept. Okay, looks good. All right, so we better call it. So we are going to come in here and we are going to call method to update Tony Boy's email address. All right, so excuse me, as we call this, we will do a db.update employee by name, and we're going to change his to, we're going to make it a little more, so instead of Tony Boy, we're going to make it Tony White. At yahoo.com. Who are we going to do that for? Tony White. And I've said this to you before, you don't have to do, you can do this virtually any way you want. But when I'm doing stuff in here like this, I typically like to use single quotes and not doubles. The biggest thing is when you're doing all this stuff, what you should do is you should establish a standard and stick to that standard. All right, so after we've done that, let's see if Tony Boy has been updated. See if it works. All right, so updated email address for Tony White. It looks like I didn't print it, but that's okay. Notice tonyboy@gmail.com. That's what it was going in. So let's go back. Let's get rid of the database. Let's take a look at what we just put in here. Oh, so the updated email address for him, well, how about this? Is, and we'll put in here email. There. All right, so file, save all. Let's close this. Let's run it, and let's see if we get something a little better now. So updated email address for Tony White is tonywhite@yahoo.com. All right, what we can do as well, we don't have to do this. All right, but after we did that, we can just call db.displayRecords. We could have done that as well. It's because that'll display all records. Let's get rid of that again. So file, save all. Let's clear this out. And let's run this again. So updated is, and then there it is. All right, so the only person that we But let's do this another way. Let's do this time, let's pick on, so to speak. How about Mary Green? Okay. Let's do Keith Black right above here. So let's do Keith Black next. Now, this is called, or what I put in here was this was done the bad way, and it's done the bad way because what if we had two people that have the same name? It would update both of them. So let's go back in and let's do it the good way. All right. And again, those are just verb wordage that I'm using, but we're going to update it by email. So we call that last one update by employee name, and we're going to call this one update by email. Okay, let's undo these. All right, so let's fix this one up, then we'll do our delete. So we've got our cursor. I'm going to grab this. In fact, I'm going to grab all of this right there. Bring that in here. Whoopsie. All right, don't worry about that. We'll fix that momentarily. So what we need in here now is we need self. We need the email address that we want to update, and we're going to use the row ID. All right, so we're going to update by email query. Update email, set email to this, but it's going to be where email equals this and row ID equals that. All right. Then we want to call this update by email query. We want to pass in the email and the row ID. It's like that. Commit updated email address for row ID. We'll say here employee number. We'll just use row ID is, and it'll be the email. That's good. So all we have to do now is we want to call it again to update. I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. Katie Black. Kate Black. So Kate Black's email address. So as we call this one, she is number 4. And remember, there's a quirk in here that even though it's an integer field, it wants you to handle it as though it is a text field. All right, so currently hers is Katie B, which again isn't that great. So let's change that to Kate Black at yahoo.com. Okay, and then we'll display that, and we'll display all of them also. So file, save all. Hopefully we didn't make any mistakes. And I did. All right, it says missing one positional argument, last name. So something is screwed up. Let's fix it. Email and row ID. Email and row ID. Oh, it's not by employee name now. It's update by email. So I just called the wrong function. That's okay. Program did exactly what it was supposed to do. It errored out because I put something wrong in there. All right, so let's bring this up like that. Run it. All right. Oh, I didn't. Let me go and delete the database first. All right. Clear this and run it again. All right. Updated for Tony White. Error. Oh, okay. Says there's an error, incorrect number of bindings. So she did not get changed. So there's an error in there. All right. It says the current statement uses 3 and there are 2 supplied. So let's fix that. Right. Well, it's by ID. In fact, let's change that. Rather than update by email, we're going to call it update by ID. I like that better because that's what we're doing. So let's change that in here as well to update by ID. All right. That's not going to change your, we're still going to have our error, but I think it reads a little better. So we want to update Kate Black's email the good way. So we're doing an update by ID. All right, we got our try. We're passing in self, email, and row ID. That's good. Try. Set up our cursor. Have our query. Update by, we're going to make that update by ID query. In fact, let's just make it row ID. I like that better. So that's by row ID. All right, so update by row ID. Okay, that fixed all those. Let's fix it down here as well. Otherwise, I might forget to. All right, so we're calling it update by row ID. We're passing in an email. We're passing in an email and a row ID. Good. It's expecting an email and a row ID. Good. So update by row ID. That should be query. All right. Update employee set email equal. It's set email equal to that where row ID equals that. That's the right query. What I had in there was a wrong query. All right, so set our email where the row ID is equal to that. All right, run the query, commit it, and print out the new email address. Did we get rid of the database? The answer is no. So one more time, we'll do a save. One more time, we'll do a save here. Let's close this and let's run it and see if we get an error again. If we do, we'll just keep debugging it until it gets fixed. All right, so updated email address for employee 4 is Kate Black at Yahoo. So she was Katie B. We changed her to Kate Black. That was the error. All right, making progress here. So number 9 here is we want to be able to delete an employee. So that'll be, let's just grab all this. All right, so this will be, again, step 9. And who are we going to remove? We're going to remove, let's remove me. Okay, so step 9 will be to delete Jeff Scott employee record. All right. All right. So we're just going to call this delete employee. We will need the employee and we will need their row ID. All right, let's grab our accept and throw that in there. So this will be error trying to delete employee. All right, so we've got our cursor. Let's go in and let's write our query. So we'll call this delete query equals, let's put in a doc string. Again, we don't have to, but I like doing it like this. To me, it makes it so much easier to read what's going on. So I'm going to say delete from employees where row ID equals question mark. Okay, then we're going to execute. And that's our delete query and row ID. I'm not sure exactly why we need this in parens and why they like the comma there. I think I said this before. I found that in something I read a long time ago online. I really wish I would have bookmarked it, but I did not. So self.con.commit. We'll do our print. Deleted employee with row ID okay. There's an error trying to delete employee. So let's come in here. We're almost finished here, as you can see. Now we're going to call method to delete employee Jeff Scott, db.delete employee. The employee that we want to delete is me, and I'm number 1. All right. And after we're done, let's just display them all and make sure I'm not there. Okay. Let's see if that works, or if I made some mistakes. Save all. Get rid of our database so we can recreate it again. Let's do one more save and let's try running it one more time. All right, you'll notice that Jeff Scott is gone. Deleted employee with row 1. I'm there, but now after we did the delete, I'm gone. All right, we're just about finished now. Oops. No. All right. So what's left? Well, we want to be able to close our connection. Okay. We'll put that in as the last step. So that last one was step 9, so this will be step 10. And I'm not even going to use a try catch in here. I should be able to close that without any problem. So step 10, not 109, but 10, close database connection. So we've got here that should be moved over. So should that. So should that. Something is hosed here. I don't know how, but everything got moved over kind of in a funky way. Expected indent. Well, we do have an indent. Doggone it. Let's just go back up to the top. There's our class. So it should be, there's our other class. So our def should be right here, every one of them. Right where my mouse is. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think main should be over here. It's going to be by itself. It's not part of this class. So we should be able to come over here and move all those over. Now that's funky, but let's see if this is the reason it's from here. So this is def. We want to close our connection. So we'll call this close DB connection. All right, if self.con, so if there's a connection open, and we can parenthesize this. You know this because I've said it umpteen times. You don't have to put these in parens. Self.con.close. And then let's just do a print. I think we're going to have to pass. Boy, I still keep having problems in here. I keep having problems with my battery at my machine. So excuse me for just a second. Working on two different machines here, and I'm having battery problems with the other machine. There we go. So if, I think we're going to need self in here, aren't we? All right, self.close, and we'll do a print that just says connection closed. How about DB connection closed? All right, finally, at the end here, let's close the connection. Call method to close database connection. In other words, end program. So db.close db connection. All right, that is everything. I am going to get rid of the database, delete. I am going to save. All right, I'm going to run this one last time. Let's close this. We don't need that open. Let's see if we got any errors. Here it comes. There it goes. All right, so we came in, established our connection, successfully created the employees table, added Jeff Scott to the employees table, added the other 4 people to the employees table, found just the Gmail records, did an update, did another update, the quote bad way and the quote good way, deleted an employee, and closed our connection. So the last thing I would like to do in here, you do not have to do this, of course, but the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in where I had and have here I'll just grab it from here. I think that it's in here. Find out. Yep. So let's close that. Let's open that and that. Paste that in. Good. All right. So this example has covered the basics of performing, and this was in an object-oriented manner. Again, we connected, we created, we inserted and inserted, we queried, we updated, and we deleted. So Demo 3 used object-oriented programming with a database class, in fact, too many order we did them, with an employee class and a database class. So like this, they were all put into their own functions. Actually, methods. The rest of the program was basically the same as the previous program, which was 0, 2, not 21. All right. We will continue on with a new database in the next example. Now, I want to mention something. All right, I'm just about finished here. So let's save all. We can get rid of that. And I'm already, let's see where I am for time here. I'm at 36 minutes. So I'm going to take about 5 minutes here to show you something. Not to waste my time, not to waste yours. But this is that Chinook example right here. Okay, so if we look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tables, which isn't astronomical, but it's big enough. Now, we have in here 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, those are small. 1, 2, all right, I'm going to continue on. I had a phone call there. If you look here, again, there's 11 tables. Okay, I'm not going to read them again, but if I add up the number of fields, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, plus 4 is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, and 7. So that's 64 fields in 11 tables. And this is that Chinook database. Could we make it work? The answer is yes. But I've decided instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this and put them here side by side. This is a database that I found in a book that I used many years ago that's called Sales Orders. All right. And you'll notice that unlike before, what you see there are 11 tables, 64 fields. Now we have 8 tables and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 23, 26, 29, 32, 35, 39, 42, 45. Looks like there's about 50 fields. So the number of fields isn't that different, 64 to about 49. But there's less tables. I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to work with this database. I've already got this database, and I've actually written it or created it twice. Once for the Relational Database Management System, MySQL, and once for the Microsoft SQL Server. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewrite it as soon as I can find it. I was looking for it before. And yeah, this is it, but it's not going to let me open it here. So let's see. I don't think I can open it. Yeah. If I open it here, it's going to look like garbage. Yeah. I've got to find it, and I've got it here someplace. So I'm going to keep looking for it, and once I find it, I'm going to make some changes to it. All right. In other words, right now there's chars and varchars and date time fields, and I'm going to change them all so that they're using the fields that are used in SQLite 3. All right. And as I go on the journey to doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape that so you can see what's going on. All right. So I'll be back with that. Not sure exactly when, but fairly shortly. Thanks.